Hey, this is Tom, and in this week's video we're going to build some table frames. Okay, we've made some progress on our table frames. If you aren't familiar with what this project is, go back and watch this video here. There's a card, and there's a preview. Where we want to talk about the design and we cut the tops for these. Remember, these tables are going to have wooden tops with a metal inlay in there that we CNC cut on the plasma cam. This week's video is all about the prep work that goes into building these frames. There's 3 frames. Take a look. Here's our handy dandy inset. That's the coffee table itself, right? The frame for the coffee table. And this is one of the matching end tables. So with all of these, it took a little bit of prep work, but the prep work meant that everything went that much smoother when we actually did the work. So I cleaned the entire, cleaned the metal first, made sure everything is ready to go, and then we went ahead and TIG welded these. So one of the things that I did differently on this project, as opposed to some of my other projects, is I cut all the material first, I prepped all the material first, and then I welded the material out. So rather than going through and doing this piecemeal, one at a time, I handled it more as a set, more from a production perspective. So sit back, enjoy it. Next week we will should have all these off to the powder coater, and then we should work on the tops themselves in the next video and get it off for final assembly. So these frames are going to be TIG welded and then powder coated, and so one of the first things that I decided to do is, rather than try and clean stuff up as I went, I decided to go ahead and get all of the material clean all at once. And I'm using this Scotch-Brite stripping disc, and it's doing a great job of it. Just, the thing is it takes time. In fact, as you'll notice, a week goes by as I do this, right? Watch my clothes. Anyways. Yeah, so you got to get every bit of this clean, and so it does 2 things. It improves the quality of the weld. You don't have to worry about porosity. It also improves the surface finish of the powder coat. So, in general, it does a really nice job. It didn't take too long. It just it's monotonous. It takes a little bit of time. So, good thing we're watching this in fast forward, right? Okay, we got all of our parts here for our 3 tables all cleaned up. See, we got nice shiny metal. Just a quick status update though on this grinding disc. Oh, they're good. Here we go. Okay, this grinding wheel, the Scotch-Brite. Scotch-Brite clean and strip disc. That's the, I'll give you guys, that is the part. Give you a second there. I've been using this same wheel for quite a while now, and other than it being a little out of balance because I was trying to do it flat, and I realized I wasn't, it is phenomenal. I mean, it's less than half of it's been used at this point. I did all of this cleaning. I've been using it outside of this as well, and it did phenomenal. So 3M Scotch-Brite Clean and Strip XT disc. This is a TN Quick Change Extra Course, and it is amazing. I will be buying more of these, plain and simple. No doubt about it. Part number looks like it's 64997. Definitely buying more of those. I'll put a link down in the description with a direct link to purchase it. All right, so it's time to begin welding, and one of the biggest concerns here is keeping everything nice and square. There's a lot of deviation in tubing. Right? It's not actually perfectly flat. It has a crown because it's bent, and bent and welded. So trying to get everything lined up right, I used a 1/4 inch spacer to keep the offset proper in here. I'm doing the welding using my Miller Diversion 180.
I had it set at 145 amps, although I went back and looked at some of the footage, and I was actually doing things at about 90 amps when I was actually doing the welding itself. But it's there to help get the puddle going. As Ray Goff mentioned on the Facebook page, I was probably running a little hot, and I noticed, you won't be able to see it from the video, but I noticed I was getting a little bit of undercut in there, especially as I hit the corners. So if anybody's got some tips on that one as you're hitting those corners and going around the corners, I'd really appreciate that. You can see I'm just using quick little flash tack welds to get everything tacked in place first. Once I have the entire pieces tacked up, then I go ahead and weld everything out. So the first part was actually a part for the coffee table. This is one of the end tables that I'm working on. And so you can see we get the bottom cross brace in there. We do this twice, and then we start adding in the side rails. And so there is going to be a shelf on that, so everything has to be lined up exactly right. I was just using a small piece of aluminum as an offset to make sure that everything was exactly the same. Getting it all tacked up. One thing that I had to go back and change after the fact was I hadn't accounted for the offset when I did my original cuts, so things were about a ½ inch off on the bottom rails. But it was an easy fix to get everything set up. And so I just go through the whole process, get everything welded in place and finished up. So thanks for watching, folks. Really appreciate it.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this week's video. I wanted to say a special thanks to a couple of people I've been working with quite a bit lately. Chad Hensley, this one goes out to you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. It's kind of neat how in this community we can actually meet people who are local to us. It's not just everybody that's spread out. And come to find out, a couple people around here are actually within 20 or 30 minutes, maybe an hour away. So it's kind of neat when you run into people like that and you can actually get to know them on a personal level, not just through YouTube or Facebook. And the other one is Dave, and I'm going to butcher your last name, Calabretta. Dave is an awesome gentleman who I've been doing some work with. Actually, those garden art signs we did last week are for him, but I'm also doing some special work for him. I don't know if we're going to do it as a video or not, but we're doing some work together. So Dave, I just wanted to say thank you for everything that you have done. With that, let's wrap it up. Remember, next week, or next video in this series, maybe not next week, because I've got a neat idea for next week. Next video in this series will be the tops and wrapping everything up. Next week will likely be a slightly different video. I just want to have some fun. And so I'm going to work on a new project, a fun project that has nothing to do with what I normally do, other than we're going to work on the plasma cam, we'll do a little grinding, and then we're going to destroy some things. So anyways, tune in next week. I'll see you soon.